So, okay, so that's travel ball as a whole. Give me showcase ball, because again, I think those are two separate things.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of travel ball teams out there. You know, we helped run one. So like, but a showcase team is completely different. And a lot of organizations, you know, have a showcase team, but not all of them are going to those major tournaments that, you know, you just described.
Right.
What's your opinion of showcase ball, I guess?
I think it's about maybe 10 organizations across the country that can actually say they do that and it's lucrative. Just because of the talent level, and like those kids are actually, they need to be in front of those type of people. But the other 90%, I think they just say it just so they can have a reason to charge a certain amount. And it's not helping the kid, because when you talk showcase ball, it's like, what are we showing? Like, you got kids that's underdeveloped. They just want to say they played at this showcase and they're paying all of this money, but they don't have anything to show. And so I think for the masses of teams, I don't think is productive. I do think it's a select few, a handful of organizations that's like, it's the cream of the crop. So it's like, these kids, they're going to go against each other, and it's going to be a battle.
Right.
And it's going to be good for them, the scouts, everybody involved. But 90% of these teams is I think they need to focus more on development.
Yeah. I mean, similar, an organization that you played for, they were probably flying in kids from different locations. It's not like they were all from Atlanta, right? The showcase team?
We had a couple. My team was the Atlanta Blue Jays.
Okay.
And a lot of us were actually from Atlanta.
Oh, really?
We had a couple that like came from out of town, but we weren't like, one of the prominent teams when I was coming up was the Midland Redskins. And Midland, they actually had a plane. So they would legit fly kids in. Yeah. And so like, it's teams like that where it's like, okay, if you playing with this team, we know you're a draft guy, you're a Power 5 guy.
Every single one of those guys are getting drafted.
Right, 100%. Yeah. So it's like, but like those caliber teams, you know. And so it's you know, I don't think in that situation it's anything negative. I think it's positive.
If you get on one of those.
Yeah, it's like if you can hang, go.
Yeah.
You're going to play the best teams. You're going to get seen, because it's going to be the half of your team is going to be getting looked at too. So yeah, those teams, I get it for sure.
We I helped with a travel team. I started a non-for-profit travel team 13 years ago. I haven't done anything with it much. Someone else runs it now. But we did a showcase team for a lot of the years. I coached a showcase team with my father. And because like that was what the kids wanted. They wanted to go to these showcase tournaments and wanted to get exposure, wanted college, whatever, which is all great. And so we did it for maybe 5, 6, 7 years probably. And we did have a lot of guys went on to play college, you know, and I think it was like 80% of our guys that played showcase went to play college at some level, which was fantastic. But then I sat down one day and I'm starting to do the math, and I'm like, okay, so we're spending the money, we're traveling to all these different states, you know, and we're not good enough to go play in those tournaments that you listed. But we're traveling to all these different states, hotel costs, travel fees for the parents, obviously the fee for the team, you know, to cover that. And then I look at where our guys were going to school.
Yeah.
And it was like 90% of them was because I had a relationship with a coach.
Yep.
It wasn't because we were traveling to Boston, to Georgia, to North Carolina. It had nothing to do with the showcase tournaments.
Yeah.
It was all because we knew a coach and we were making phone calls on behalf of our guys, which was great. And so then we ended up doing away with it. We're like, if us travel, I don't need
without the travel.
We don't need to go to all these different places to still get our guys to go play college baseball. You know what I mean? Because in reality, it was like we'd have 1 or 2 Division I guys, Division II guys, you know, each year. So if you only have 1 or 2, and the rest of them are maybe D3 guys or JUCO guys, again, good ball players, solid team, can compete. But if we go up against a team that, you know, the Atlanta Blue Jays, we're getting smoked. You know what I mean? We're getting smoked. That doesn't help anyone.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, none of our guys are getting great exposure in that moment. You know what I mean? So that I did have that kind of realization of, like, you know, the showcase ball world, and, you know, at least at our level, it didn't make sense to us, you know, as we were looking at it. It's like, I don't think we're doing any favors for anyone. Outside of, it is a fun experience.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and there's some value to that. You know what I mean? Those kids that played that showcase ball and they went and they traveled and they did this, they're going to look back fondly on those years. I mean, I'm sure you do, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so I think it's kind of that balance of, okay, how much is that worth?
Right.
Is it worth it? And if you feel like it's worth the money, then that's great too. You know what I mean? There's No one says that's wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, if you go play Division III ball and you got to play showcase ball and you got to travel around and experience that, play against some of maybe you're just playing against these guys. You get to say that, you get to claim that, you know what I mean, for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But it can get expensive. And it can get it definitely can get a money grab depending on the organization. You know?
Yeah. I think even more today, like it should be trending more towards development just because of the dynamic of NCAA and the landscape, the portal, what they're talking about changing with like junior college, if it counts towards your eligibility.
That's wild.
It's crazy. And so it's like, now, what are we really paying for? Because if I'm a college coach and I have the option of picking a high school kid that I can tell has some talent, a promising talent, or I can go hop in this portal and I got a guy that already showed he could do it. He's been around other guys that play at a high level. He understands the grind of the whole thing of physically being in college. He's physically more mature. That's a no-brainer for me because every coach is on a hot seat today. Oh yeah. It's like if you don't show that you can win in a certain amount of time, it's like next. Yeah. So it's kind of, and the draft got chopped in half.
Yeah,
and lower levels got cut. So it's so saturated now to where it's like, okay, even if I am a promising talent, does it make sense for me to be traveling all over the country versus honestly, in my opinion, it's starting to become more beneficial to go to the school camps. Like the camps, they're cheaper. You're actually in front of the coaches.
Yeah.
And you're on the campus. Yep. And so it's a fraction of the cost. And so it's starting to eventually I think we got to start asking the question, what am I actually paying for? Like it used to be, oh, you're paying for the exposure. Well, now they're hopping in the portal before they come see your kid play. Yeah. So maybe I should start prepping so I'm ready for when I get to the next level.
It's a really good point on the school camp side. I think that's a really good point because showcases in general, forget like the showcase tournament. Let's just say you go to a showcase. Yeah. And again, I think there's, depending on the type of player you are, I think there could be real value to that. Like when I was scouting, you think of all the showcases that I went to, whether the pro days or whatever. And unless someone's doing something, that splash factor that you talked about, right? That's what you notice.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. Especially at a showcase event where you're doing measurable stuff, you know, like you're not actually playing a game. You know, they're taking BP, taking an IO, they're running a 60. Unless someone's running a real fast 60, right? So that's the first thing you do. They run the 60. Yep. You see that 6'5", and you're like, oh, let me circle that guy's name. Let's see what else he does. Right? It's like I've ignored just about, unless that when I go to the hitting and I see a guy bomb it, then I go back and look at a 60. How fast? Oh, he was okay. Let me check it out. You know, like so. Unless you have something that's an X factor. I think a lot of really good players, like very good players, get lost in the mix at a showcase.
100%.
Unless you have that thing that stands out. Yeah. You know, and I always used to tell guys, if you have the thing that stands out, I think showcases are great.
Oh yeah, splash tool.
Go. You know, absolutely.
Everybody's gonna see it.
Absolutely. Go. You know, you got a great arm, show it off. You know, you run fast, go run a great 60. People will circle your name and they'll follow you. Yep. But the majority of kids, even really, really good players, don't have that big splash.
I call them the 1%ers. Yeah. Especially when you get a guy that does multiple. Yeah. Where it's like, all right, he's fast and he has a cannon. Yeah. So, yeah. You might want to go.
But the school camps, what I like about that is the more intimate camp setting. Yeah. Right. A lot of times the coaches are hands on. You may even have a conversation with a coach, which you're not going to do at a showcase. Right. You may be able to impress your character on a coach. You know, have a great. Just the way how you handle yourself, your presence, that could be more noticeable than next up. Yeah, now he's getting 3 ground balls at Adam, 1 backhand, 1 forward hand, 1 slow roller.
And they're doing what they want to see.
True.
So it's like you're getting more reps. Most of them have a game setting, so you're getting live ABs. It's making, in my mind, it's making more sense from an investment standpoint, and just like a benefit. It's like what can actually come from it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Instead of like just hoping.
If you enjoyed that clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the full podcast, click right here. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you find this content valuable.